Smooth family. What's good? Hope y'all doing good. Say what's up. If you ain't here. Hope y'all had a good day. Hope y'all had a good week. You know, feeling pretty good. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Good, good. We're
We
gonna
got
wait.
like hot in the Carolinas.
Yeah, we're gonna wait a little minute. Make sure y'all say what's up before we get started. Sure to get you a drink, get you a snack, get comfortable. Cause this topic it's gonna be a good one. What's up, Keisha?
What's
What's up,
going on,
Kitty?
Kitty?
What's up, everybody?
And everyone that's tuning in.
Mm-hmm. You know, but keep this thing up. What's good, Smooth family? It's your boy Be Smooth. If you can't be smooth, then you gotta move. And this Smooth Talk. I'm your host, Brandon, aka Be Smooth. My co-host, Papa Smooth. My dad, Carl. Y'all gave him that name, Papa Smooth, so it just stuck with him. But for today's topic, we're gonna be talking about why do people disrespect others and play it off as keeping it real. We've all experienced that in some way, shape, or form. If you haven't yet, you're gonna experience it at some point. But why do people do that? Why y'all think people do that? Yeah. Let me know what your thoughts is on that. Why you think people do
Sometimes it's a slick way of trying to be smart with
that?
you and trying to be funny. So it's just an old slick way.
Yeah, I agree. People being petty and they probably just trying to hurt you or whatever the situation may be, or they think they keeping it real, but in reality they just being mad disrespectful. They could be projecting because it probably happened to them or happened to them. Who knows? There's many different things that can determine why people do that. But yeah, I want to know y'all thoughts on that, man. Before we dive a little bit deeper into it. You know.
Y'all let us know the sound.
Yeah, let us know if you can hear us too, by the way, so we can make sure everything working. He said jealousy, talk trash, and put it off as trolling. Yeah, especially that's another thing. Do y'all feel like social media has kind of played a part in that? I feel like it does.
Yeah.
People like to play it off as a trolling or a prank or whatever, but in reality, it's just straight up disrespect. But everybody that's coming in, welcome to the Smooth family. Welcome to the Smooth Talk podcast. Say hello in the chat. Make sure you like. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe and all that.
Thank you.
On Facebook, make sure you comment and hit that like. Keisha said, hear you loud and clear. All right, appreciate it. Darius, what's good? He said, what's up, y'all? Just stopping by real quick. Head to a family event. But my son lost his first tooth today. He a grown man now, time to get a job. Oh, we. Nephew, I said, what's up? But yeah.
In your side defense, I'm gonna come to his defense, bro. I ain't get down.
Right. But here's a question I got for y'all is when someone says they're keeping it real, are they being honest or just being hurtful? I feel like a lot of people just being hurtful when they do that and say they keeping it real. Some might have good intentions, but don't know how to go about it. Because there is some people that just don't know how, they don't have communication skills. So they feel like by saying whatever it is they telling you and playing it off as, oh, I'm just keeping it real, but in reality, they just being hurtful. What you think?
Keeping it real. Keeping it real. Keeping it real means I can correct you without you being offended. Where's the truth? You're gonna be offended anyway. Mm-hmm. Keeping it real, I can say certain stuff to you as being truthful to you. That's keeping it real. Mm-hmm. If I'm jealous of you, I won't be keeping it real because I'm jealous of you, because I'm jealous, like Kitty said earlier. I'm jealous. See, them jealous hearted people, they would use that. I'm just gonna keep it real with you, man. You think you this, you think you that, and you think you arrogant and all this kind of stuff because you think you know it all. No, you just sound like you're a little jealous because I might know a little bit more than you do. Not saying that I'm smarter than you. I just know a little bit more than you.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I might read more books than you or study or do more research while you doing whatever. Don't play that off on me like think it's all about me. No, I just might do things a little bit different than you.
Right. Some people, I'm gonna talk about this too, but be projecting. And like you said, they start comparing and doing that. Oh, you think you're better than me or whatever. And the reality of that, it's like, bro, it's always gonna be somebody out here that do things better than you anyway. Like that's just the reality of it. It's like whatever it is you doing, it's always gonna be somebody better than you. That's why you stay in your own lane. But when it comes to keeping it real, you can keep it real with a person and not disrespect them or try to belittle them. And because the truth hurts. But it's a difference when you doing it to disrespect them.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, social media gives people a false sense, entitlement, and power, but they hide behind a screen, not knowing what can happen in real life. Yeah.
Yeah. And like my friend Pastor Steve always say, you're a keyboard warrior.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like people be forgetting. I made a video about it on TikTok, but people be forgetting the stuff you do on social media. You think you safe behind a screen, but what you do behind a screen, that don't apply to real life. Mm-hmm. And the way the world is now, it's people that can find you despite if you think you safe behind a screen, they can find your IP address and all that. So it's scary, but you gotta be careful out
here. Yeah. Keith said, what's up, Keith? Keith said, keeping it real is just slang. Most people don't even think about the words they use. No, they don't. Yeah. They don't think about the words. Mm-hmm. That's why you have to be very careful on stuff that you say. Words that you release out your mouth. That's what I'm looking for. Mm-hmm. You got to be careful.
It's a lot of power in the tongue. A lot of people don't. Whether you believe in that or not, that's your choice. But it's a lot of power in what you say. So you just got to be careful. And, a lot of people, they like to do, when they do it to people or whatever, but they get mad when it's happening to them.
Yep.
It's like, bro, that stuff is real. Like, karma is real and all that. It'll happen.
Yeah.
Keisha said, the majority of people that use the phrase, I'm just keeping it real, are choosing to be blunt and hurtful without considering someone's feelings. Sure, the intentions behind it are good, but I feel people should take more time to understand how the person on the other end is going to receive their message. Yeah. I definitely agree with you on that. Keith said you can say keeping it real and be lying. Yeah.
Lying.
Yeah.
Straight lying.
Because it's a lot of people that do that too. They say they're keeping it real, but just be straight up lying. And it's sad. But my question is like, why do some people disguise rudeness as honesty though? Like, why don't they do that? I never got that concept.
I
don't get it. Like, why do you try to disguise you being rude as being honest? Like he said, you can say you're keeping it real, but you just over here lying your butt off. He said, hello, my brother. Good to see you. Hey, good to see you.
All right, keep you up, man.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, what do you get out of that? Saying that you keeping it real or whatever and trying to disguise it.
And they disguise it in all different forms.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The way this world's set up now, with people, I have the slightest idea.
Yeah. And it can come in many different forms. And it can happen to anybody. It can happen in a relationship or marriage or whatever. It can happen to like your kids because there's some parents that do that. it's many different things, aspects when it comes to that. I don't get it. I really don't.
And so what they do, they disrespect people and play it off. And instead, like, I'm just keeping it. And what's the? I'm keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100.
But as soon as you keep it 100, somebody, then they're mad at you and they wonder why you disrespecting them. See, a lot of people, it's an old saying, but it's still true to this very day. A lot of people get mad. They can dish it, but they can't take it. If you can't take it, don't dish it.
Because you ever seen people that do that say they're keeping it 100 or keeping it real and be disrespecting people, but as soon as somebody is actually keeping it real with them and not being disrespectful to them, it's like they take offense to it.
Yeah.
Especially this generation, especially, young adults around my age or like even some kids, teenagers, and even adults older than, both of us. It's like, why are you taking offense to it, though? When you be being, rude or whatever to other people, but when somebody actually is keeping it real with you and not disrespecting you in no way, shape, or form, why do you take offense to it? I don't get it. I never understood that.
And before we go any further, you had liked and shared on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, go subscribe. Go subscribe to his page right now. Go subscribe right now. If you're on YouTube, you're on Facebook, go like and follow and become a friend with us and everything. And because, we're just trying to be regular people, like a lot of other people, just regular people.
And talk about the stuff that should be talked about or the things that most people don't talk about that happen in our everyday lives.
Yeah. And if this is your first time here, we welcome you. Welcome. Well, we never take anyone for granted.
So we appreciate every single one of y'all. No. That's it. All right, good. Kitty said there has been lives I've been on TikTok where people will say the most disrespectful things when someone questions what they say or get mad at them. They say they trolling. I think those type of people are unhappy with their life. Yeah. We've all seen it. I feel like it's a lot of people that genuinely aren't happy with themselves and just have so much hate in their heart, so they feel like they got to spread it and try to mess up your day or whatever because maybe they miserable, so they want everybody else to feel the same pain they feel. It's like, that ain't the way to go. Then when a lot of bad stuff happens to you, you get upset, you get mad, and you wonder why. It's like, bro, you spewing a lot of hate. You saying you keeping it real, but it's like, no, or, when people don't agree with them, they get mad. It's like, I don't agree with you.
One thing I learned about social media is that, as they call it, trolling or lurking and all that kind of stuff. If you feel like somebody trolling and lurking your page, then you should make your page private. It's a public page that everybody can see. So if I drift over, let's say I drift over to Kitty page or Keith page or Keisha page or anybody else's page, if I drift over to that, I'm not looking, I'm just over there looking. I might like what you're saying. I might like what you got up there, your posing. I'm not lurking. But then when you get it on the flip side on social media, a lot of people be disrespectful. A lot of people raise a whole bunch of saying and cussing and fussing and doing all this kind of stuff because they know it draws people and it draws viewers. And that's what a lot of people love to see. So they can get on there. Let's say somebody can jump on here right now and they can have a page themselves or a platform themselves and just start being disrespectful towards me or him. They know they got people themselves watching. So it boosts their views on their social media page. See, I went there and I said some stuff that they couldn't answer. And that just shows you they ain't real about what they say. Just because I can't answer something don't mean I'm not real.
Right.
A lot of times I can't answer certain things. I tell you, give me a few days, give me a day or two. Let me get back with you.
Yeah, we just tell you we don't know.
You know, or I just tell you, I don't know. You know, I ain't looked at it that way. I haven't viewed it that way. You just can't say it because I don't know. But then if you try to push me in that type of corner, then I know what question to ask you that I know you can't even answer.
Before I get to like these key points and stuff, I gotta ask this question. Do you feel like, or do y'all feel like, when it comes to people saying they're keeping it real but disrespecting people, do you think that's a generational curse type of thing? And do you think it's like taught as well to some people?
It could be passed down, it could be taught. Some people pick it up. When it comes to that, some people pick it up.
Yeah.
Whether it's within inside the family or outside the family.
Mm-hmm.
They pick it up.
Yeah. Because the people you keep around, you mentioned you're gonna pick up their, character traits and all that. You start to act like that too.
Yep. Whether it's good
or bad.
Whether it's bad.
Yeah. Y'all let me know what y'all think on that before I get to this, key point. And for anybody that just popped in, welcome to the Smooth family. This is Smooth Talk Podcast, by the way. We talking about a lot of people disrespect others and, play it off as keeping it real. Let's you read that right quick.
He said, I think it's taught how they was raised. Yeah. And that's why I said, all three sides.
Mm-hmm.
All three sides. A lot of people do teach people how to be disrespectful.
Mm-hmm. And cover it
up. I know it's sad to say that, but it's true. A lot of people teach people how to be disrespectful, just like a lot of people teach people how to be racist. And I know people don't like that subject, but we're gonna talk about that subject.
Mm-hmm. Now, a key point I gotta bring up is deflection of accountability. They use the phrase as a shield so they don't have to take responsibility for being rude. It's a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
He said, I respect you more for not answering if you don't know rather than answering with a lie or misleading info. Yeah. And that's a problem. A lot of people mislead or, they be lying. If you don't know, say you don't know. But I feel like that's going to be another point we'll bring up in a second. Is their ego.
Ooh.
They pride in their ego. They feel like if they don't answer, it is triggered, their ego, or somebody be like, see, he couldn't answer it. Now all of a sudden they get in their feelings or whatever, and now they just being disrespectful and say, oh, I'm just keeping it real, which we call it crashing out. But yeah, it's a lot of people that do that.
And, man, that ego can be a beast, boy.
Yeah.
Pride and ego.
Yeah.
Those two things right there.
Mm-hmm. To the point I was gonna bring up is ego and superiority. Some people feel powerful or real by putting others down, which is facts. There's a lot of people that feel like if I be disrespectful or and put you down, but say I'm keeping it real, they feel like they superior. Their ego, it drives them to do whatever it is they doing. But you get mad when it happens to you or your loved ones. And like my dad always say, it doesn't matter to you until it affects you. Literally. And that's what most cases, it be like that. And like we said, their ego and their pride. Sometimes you just gotta get out your own way and put your, swallow your pride and your ego and understand, like, bro, you don't know everything. Like, why do you feel the need to be like this hateful person? Mm-hmm. Some people need to get humbled.
Yeah, they need to be humble.
There's a lot of people that just need to be humble. But I don't know, because people just be on this like weird power trip of they gotta be powerful or feel, be feared or something like that by being disrespectful and be like, yeah, I'll show them if I'm tearing them down or whatever. But saying I'm keeping it real. But you get mad that somebody bigger and better than you that don't have to do that for you. And they eat you up too.
And some people, when they get humble, boy, They be mad because not only did somebody humble them that might be younger than them or older than them, but the way they said it, they didn't have no way of coming back with nothing. So now they just sitting there like like the old cartoon sitting there like a bump on the log.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, some people need to be humble. You know, at some point in our lives, we all need to be humble or have been humbled. I know I have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have been humbled. That's
need-
why I'm careful. I be quiet sometimes before I even speak. Sometimes, like matter of fact, me and Brandon were talking about it a few days ago, how we can go somewhere, we don't say too much. They'd be like, "Oh, I think y'all must be shy." So no, we're there. We're in the room watching, because you can learn a lot by just watching. Sometimes, just watching.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on.
You can find out who the loud mouth is. You can find out who the liar. You can find out who the player. You can find out somebody just got a certain agenda. You can find a whole lot. So all you do is just be quiet. Sometimes they would tell them themselves, but I didn't realize it.
Yeah, they call it, people watching. You know, you sit back and just observe. You'll learn a lot about a person.
Yeah.
But then, like, from 30 minutes to an hour or however long you be there, and then sometimes that can get you out of a lot of situations.
Mm-hmm.
It can help you or it can break you.
Right.
Depending on how you move and how you go about it.
It said, "No person is better than anyone else. We are all imperfect." Yep, you talking about that today, Sunday school.
Yeah, but you got some people that feel like because they have these accolades, these titles, in these positions, they feel like, "Oh, I'm better than you." No, you're not.
And those people right there can be some of the most disrespectful people in the world, especially when they get a title.
Yep. And they feel like just because they got that title, that means everything that come out their mouth is real.
Is real and right.
No.
I only in my lifetime heard, I'm be on the Christian side. I heard a few preachers, and I only heard a few. I count on one hand how many ever have ever said this. Yes, I may be a pastor in the church, but it's a lot of people in this church way smarter than me when it comes to that Bible. You can't even see too many pastors confess that.
Yeah, pride in that ego.
Or be real saying that. Because they think they know it all. That could be a dangerous thing, because even you as pastors or whatever your title is don't know everything when it comes to that Bible. No, you don't.
And like some people take offense to that whenever you question them about something.
Yeah, but they feel like they next to God can't question me. That's a lie.
That's a lie, bro. Like some people just have questions they want to know. And if you don't know, just say that. You know, a lot of people gonna have questions when it comes to things because they just curious.
Yeah. So, like you said, once you grab that title, and some of them people can be the most disrespectful people you ever seen. I know plenty of people have seen it on the job. They never had the title of being a supervisor or manager, or back in my day, a boss. That's what they call it back in the day. So once they get that title, Lord have mercy, boy, they so disrespectful. You late. I'm just a minute late. Or I was here, you just didn't see me, but I was here. Oh, I'm gonna have to do this. But sometimes those type of people that feel so bossy at work,
superior,
don't run nothing at home. Nothing. Kids run the home, wife run the home. But they come to work, want to run everything.
That's a power trip they got going on.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Kitty said, same, I'm observing. I can find out a lot about someone on how they act and what they say and how they say it. People think I'm mean at first because I'm so quiet, but I'm analyzing everyone. Yeah. You know, especially when you watch how they react to certain other people and how they talk amongst, you know, certain people when they get around somebody else, how they act, tells me a lot about you. But like I was going to say about the type, what you about to say?
But before you say that, you want to find out how certain people is around you, take them around certain people. You can tell if they've been talking about you to certain people because they're going to be all different when they get around certain people.
It's gonna be a shift. But what I was about to say, like I've seen people that use, they titles and all this stuff, and just be on some crazy power trip and thinking that because they have that title, that just means everything that comes out their mouth is right. And as them keeping it real, it's like, no, it's not, bro. Just because you in this position, that does not mean you right. And keeping it real. Like I like to say, you strong and wrong. I love to say that because it's just like, bro, you don't know everything, and just because you're in this position, that does not mean everything you say is right. And doesn't mean everybody gonna agree with you.
Now, back in the day, I add another word to what you just said. You strong and you wrong. Back in the day, they used to say you strong, wrong, and stone, meaning you hiding whatever.
Question I got to ask is: does keeping it real come from a place of care or from a place of ego?
Yeah. Ego.
I
ego part.
Yeah. Like
I could be. I can love and care for you, and be just as 100% real with you, without no ego. Ego, it's about me. What I say, everybody listen to me. Everybody don't listen to you.
Yeah, because I get some people it can be like it come from a place of care, but for me, I feel like it'd be ego too. I feel like it's major with the ego. He said strong and wrong is your favorite phrase. Yeah, I love saying that. But yeah, I do feel like it comes from a place of ego, though. Because you don't know everybody's intentions. They can say they keeping it real, but in reality, they trying to hurt you in the most way. And it might not be disrespectful because disrespect can come in many different forms. It might not be because everybody's definition is different. So when it comes to disrespect, it doesn't have to necessarily be like them verbally saying anything and keeping it real. It could be them physically doing stuff too. Playing mind games with you and all that. So it can come from many different aspects. You never know. You never know. So I don't know when it comes to does it come from a place of care or a place of ego? I think it comes from a place of ego. That's just me. But what's y'all thoughts on that? I'm curious about that. See what y'all think about it before I move on. That's something to think about. It's like, why? Kay said it depends on how it's used. If you care for someone truly, you tell them the reality of what they are doing. But if they don't know you and are disrespectful, then that is ego and them trying to one up you. Yeah. And I personally had a situation where this person so-called call themselves being real, but then as I read through it, it was like little slick comments said here and there, and I'm like, nah, you ain't trying to keep it real and tell me whatever it is you need to tell me to better myself. You're trying to hurt me, and a lot of people do that sometimes. You just gotta pay attention to what they're saying, and some people don't analyze and process and just take their time with whatever's being said to you, or if you're reading something, through like a message or anything. Because a lot of people will react like that off emotions, which is valid, understandable for a lot of people. But that's why sometimes you gotta take a step back, really analyze what was being said and break it down and see if this person is being honest with you or if they trying to hurt you or whatever their intentions are. Sometimes it's best just to walk away from them. That'd be the best option. It's just be like, you know what? You got it. And walk off. That'll bother a lot of people. He said, and people do those slick comments, trying to get a reaction off of you. Yeah. That's what a lot of people do.
Don't respond to a lot of stuff. Even when I post on social media page. They say little slick stuff. Think I'm gonna respond to it. Sometimes when I do respond, it's with a laughing emoji. But to me, it's funny. It's funny to me. And then sometimes I will respond back. It ain't gonna be what they think it's gonna be. I just respond back. And so they'll comment and I read it. So that's when I send a laughing emoji. And then sometimes when I do that, it's to get a reaction from them. So you trying to get a reaction from me, I'm just doing it to get a reaction from you. Then they'll comment back, oh, what's so funny? Then I go into it. Then. I said, what you just said is funny. But let's talk about some factual stuff. See, they like to respond with a whole bunch of BS stuff. But when you say, let's talk factual.
Flip it on them and start being real with them. Not disrespecting, but you just being real.
Yeah.
Or sometimes because I like to do this too, I just be like, so that was supposed to hurt me? Or you looking for a reaction?
Yeah.
And they either one, don't know how to react to it and respond. Or two, they just get mad, disrespectful, and just saying some more. And then it's like, okay. So I see what you was about.
Oh, you just don't even respond like I do. I don't even respond at all.
Yeah.
I just go and what makes them mad is that, let's say 3 people responded before that person responded, trying to get a response out of you. You respond to them 3 people there, then respond to them and respond to the next 3. That pisses them off. Oh, why you skip mine?
Or, for example, for people that be on social media a lot, somebody so-called keep it real, but they disrespect you or whatever, and you go on social media acting like nothing happened. That pisses them off too, believe it or not. They looking at it like, well, how come this person ain't, how come they not reacting to what I said? How come it's not affecting them? First off, you think the world's supposed to stop because of what you said? Life's still gonna go on. I'm still gonna do what I need to do. I don't care what you think about me and what you said.
Yeah.
Like I'm supposed to just sit here and cry or something, or stop everything I'm doing just because you trying to disrespect me, but saying I'm keeping it real. No, life's still gonna go on. I'm gonna smile. I'm gonna continue to do what I'm doing.
And I have learned how to, even when people have said stuff to me and it hurt, I have learned how to not even give no type of reaction. I can just look, I can stare at you just like this. Okay, you finished? You done? Because the reaction they were looking for, it didn't happen. Even though it could have hurt me inside.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting there like, okay, I ain't gonna give them that satisfaction. So I sit there and say, you finished? You done? Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, okay, oh, you finished? Yeah. And when I walk off, that's a dumbfounded face they had.
It's a different reaction.
Oh, like, dog, that didn't even bother him. Mm-hmm. In my mind, yeah, it did bother me, but I ain't gonna give you that satisfaction because you feel like if I can give you that satisfaction of that reaction, you're gonna continue to do it. Mm-hmm. That's why I wouldn't do it.
Sometimes, like we said before, the best thing you could do is not say nothing and it just stop it from happening still.
Yeah. Or laugh.
Yeah. Now, I ain't saying it's gonna stop from anybody else doing it. Sometimes that can be the case. But as far as that particular person, it'll stop with them. Now, if they continue to do it, then your best option is to block them and go about your day. And yeah.
Kids say when they can't get the reaction, they even double down. I can be so nonchalant and give them the door face and thumbs up, and now they are crashing out.
Well, yeah. A lot of people that do that be crashing out.
Yeah.
It'd be funny to me. He said, I'm heavy on not giving somebody the reaction they're fishing for. I learned that when I was in college, and even if it did hit me in some type of way, you're getting either nothing or the bare minimum reaction / response from me. Yeah. He said, "LOL, Lord," laughing when they want. when they wanted you to when they wanted to piss you off or they lose their mind. It'd be the funniest thing ever. I love doing it because it's just funny.
Because they don't have nowhere to go, nowhere else where to go.
And they
nowhere else to go.
Especially if it's in a public setting or whatever, whether that be out in the world or on social media, like on live or something. It's the funniest thing. And the only reason I say that is because they did all that, crash out. You the main one that looked dumb. And especially if you double down and trying to continue to do it, everybody can be like, what are you doing? Like, you clearly see this person not reacting. They don't care, but you still going. You gonna look like an idiot. And they just over there chilling, just laughing.
Yeah. I don't got to a place. I'm too old to be with all that trauma and this. And I got too much to keep on having on my mind versus what you were trying to put on my mind or whatever. You know, I have been disrespected, and I just laugh at them sometimes when they do it. Oh, that don't that was, man. I go on by my business. And I always mess them up just right here. I go to sleep at night while you still worried about why I didn't give you no reaction. Or you trying to find another way of disrespecting me, stuff like that. Go to sleep at night. But then sometimes when I see these certain people, then they're mad because it shows up on social media. They're mad at somebody else disrespecting them. Don't dish it if you can't take it.
Yeah, now I got to bring this up, and I know some people are gonna feel some type of way. It is what it is. Now, when it comes to families and stuff like that, or parents doing it to their kids, why y'all be doing that? You know, it's a lot of parents that will disrespect their child, whether they a kid, teenager, or a full-grown adult, and they instead of keeping it real. They love to use this right here. Oh, I'm saying it's because I love you. You need to learn or something like that. No, bro, you don't gotta disrespect your kids or your family member and say it's because I love you. No.
That disrespecting a kid is not about no love. That's not love. That's not love at all.
I'm thinking that because they're your child or your family or whatever, that it's okay for you to disrespect them and say you love them or keeping it real or whatever. That's mental abuse. In some cases, physical abuse too. Well, Brandon has seen people in my live on TikTok that crash out because they can't get a reaction from me, and they keep trying to poke at me when I'm not even worried about them. And
I'm coming over to some of them lives. I got to see something.
And before we move on, what I never understand is when they keep poking and doing all this, saying they keeping it real and being disrespectful, why you feel some type of way when that person snap and the reaction go overboard or something end up happening to you that you wasn't expecting? It's like you asked for it.
Like, and then somebody that might be on the live with you get at them.
Get at them, yeah. It'd be I witnessed that.
And say some stuff, or then they be about to cry. Then they leave.
Then they leave. It's like, hey, some people out here that don't play, they really get active. He said, I love when you have an army behind you too. Yeah. Because I might not react, but the people around me will. He just said that too. Well, nobody I surround myself with is going to allow you to openly disrespect me. In fact, same thing.
Not openly disrespect, no.
Yeah. Or I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to teach you. Yeah. I've always seen that, whether it be family, friends, relationship, whatever. Mainly seen it in families though. They disrespect their child or their other family member and say, oh, I'm just trying to help you. You know, I'm just teaching you.
Help me what? Teach me what?
Like what?
I haven't disrespected my kids at all. You know, have I been hard? Of course. I'm a parent. I'm gonna be hard.
But he has never been disrespectful.
I'm not gonna disrespect. I mean, you gotta be hard on your kids to a certain extent to help them to learn and teach them, look, don't you do this. It's just like you tell them, don't touch that fire, you'll get burned. And sometimes they're gonna reach over there and try to touch it and get burned. And then sometimes They be like, no, I better not do that because my mama said don't do it. My daddy said don't do it. It's all about trying to prevent you. Now, can't prevent you from everything because you're gonna bump your head on some stuff. And sometimes as a parent, we allow you to bump your head.
We gonna have a topic about this. I want to do an episode on this. But parents, stop doing this. When you say don't do something and your kids ask you why, don't just stop at because I said so.
Tell them why.
Tell them why. Or immediately they be ready to beat them or something like that. They're kids at first.
I'm the parent. Don't listen to me.
Yeah, like they don't know. Teach them. Don't be so quick to go off on them or beat them or whatever and hit them with that. I said so and whatever. Like teach them, correct them. You're their parent for a reason. Correct them. They just need correction. That's all they're looking for. They're looking for why this is either bad or good.
Yep. That's all they're looking for.
Y'all don't want to listen to me on that. But he said same. My friends are fiercely protective of me, and I love that. Yeah, you gotta have people like that. Now, question I got is how can you tell someone's words are meant to help you grow or tear you down?
Most of the time, the word that'll help you grow is the words that's gonna be true and it's gonna be confirmed with your own self, with your spirit. If you tell me something and Lee tell me something, Larry tell me something, my daughter tell me something, y'all telling me all the same thing. It might be worded a little different, but it's all the same thing. Then I should take heed of that. If you got 3 or 4 people telling you the same thing, it might be worded a little different, but they're telling you the same thing. That means that it's something going on with you.
Yeah, they just want to see you do better. Now,
so if you tell me, your sisters tell me, and your uncles tell me, man, you don't need to be going down there. You need to stop going down there. It's because I need to stop going down there. Because sometimes people see stuff that you may not see.
Yeah.
They ain't doing what I'm talking about, especially when they say they ain't doing it. Man, they're my friend, man. They ain't talking about me. Okay. You just find out on your own, man.
You should say, see what happened was. For me, I told them why so many times that I'm now at because I said so go. Yeah, I get you from that point of view. I get it to that degree, But at the same time, kids are kids.
I ain't laughing at you. I'm just laughing at when you said, see what happened was. Yeah. That's how some people start out with certain lies too. I ain't saying you lying. Y'all, please don't think I'm saying it to her. I'm saying that's how some people. Man, why you late? Well, see what happened was. I had to take my dog down. What?
But
I just see you a couple blocks over down the street from me.
You just didn't know I see you.
I see you.
But how can you tell someone's words meant to help you tear you down? Yeah, I agree with everything you were saying. And as far as tearing them down, and if anybody had watched the 5 Heartbeats, you know exactly what scene I'm about to bring up.
Yeah.
When what's his name? Eddie
Kane Jr.
Eddie Kane Jr. When his dad said, "You ain't never gonna be anything because I wasn't anything." Obviously he cuts, but I ain't gonna do that.
Worst thing you can tell a child.
And it's even to this day, it still goes on, and people, parents doing it to their kids, whether the parents are separated, whatever the case may be, they say, you ain't never gonna be this or you this, you ain't gonna be nothing because your daddy or your mama or this and that. Why are you telling that to a child?
Okay, let's say the mom and daddy was nothing. I don't mean the child have to be
right.
Nothing.
And you would say, well, I'm keeping it real. I'm helping them. No, that don't help them grow not one bit. If it do help, it's a toxic way to help. Because for some cases, when I've seen it, it'll push them to be like, all right, bet I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna be better than you and different and all that. But it's a toxic way to do it, though. It activated and made their life better, but it was a toxic way. And there's still some trauma that they will have with them. It will stick with them for the rest of their life.
Because even in the movie, when the daddy told him that, the daddy wasn't nothing, but the son became something.
Mm-hmm.
It just, he let the wrong people in his life and in his ear.
Yeah.
And so that's why he was on the drugs and the drinking and stuff. But by being a great friend, Choir Boy came back and helped him. Even mended old wounds.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's a great movie. You just have to pay attention to the movie.
Even that scene when they came into his hotel and was getting on him. Now some people they gonna be like, man, y'all doing too much and trying to tear him down. No, them were real friends trying to help him. Cause they see he got a problem.
Yeah. And you can tell they had already been getting on him because if we don't talk about this before.
Mm-hmm. But stuff like that go over a lot of people's heads.
And then sometimes, a lot of people don't like to admit it, is that sometimes you have to let them go to find out. They had to let him go because he was missing events.
Yeah.
Trying to prove a point against the manager, which the manager helped them. But
the hard way. Sometimes that's what it takes. You gotta let them learn on their own and find out the hard way.
And then when you go over to the Temptations, the Temptation was the same way. You know, Otis was hard on them guys. A lot of people don't like friends like that. They don't like friends that's hard and be on you. Otis was hard on them.
Wasn't being disrespectful or not. He was
just hard.
Actually keeping it real with
as a business person. He separated the friendship and business. Mm-hmm. Because let's say he wouldn't have been hard on him. Might not have been no Temptation. Might have been a one-hit wonder.
Yeah. He said the ones that are true hit harder when you know that person loves and cares for you. When they are disrespectful, they usually start with little breadcrumbs of disrespect. So you know they are trying to deliberately hurt you. Yeah. Keisha said my mom was comparing my son to my nephew. Excuse me, as a toddler. 3-year-old, and you're telling me he's going to be like someone who went to prison for stealing a line just because he hid a toy.
All kids hide toys. I have found brand toys. What you do this toy up on the here?
Like they kids.
I hid toys when I was young. My daughters hid they toys.
And what
all kids hide toys.
And what tripped me out, they act like they didn't do none of this stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's like just because that takes a lot of self-reflection and it takes a lot of healing. But just because you was raised a certain way and your parents did whatever it is they did to you doesn't mean you gotta do it to your kids. You can break that generational curse and actually find a healthy way to do it.
I'd rather for you to hide a toy than hide something you ain't have no business with.
Mm-hmm.
We all hid toys. Matter of fact, don't put it this way. Even at grown people, we hide stuff not grown people. Let me put this up so won't nobody find it. Not saying it's something I don't supposed to have. I just want everybody getting their hands, putting their hands on this. And put this up here, hide like this. They're like back in the day when your grandma and your grandma and them used to hide money in the Bible because they knew when nobody touched that Bible. But you can't do that now. You don't care nothing about the Bible. But they would put that money. They could have about $400-500 in that Bible. You knew not to touch that Bible. You weren't gonna touch it anyway because you scared God go do something.
People overlook that. It's like, bro, you doing it now. It's a full grown adult. Or they love to use that. Oh, I'm grown. Doesn't make it right. Just saying. Doesn't make it right. She said, I love it here. Give me a. Hey, we love y'all being here. We love y'all being here. W Smooth family. We appreciate it. Now. point I gotta bring up is
See, leave $300 or $400 in that Bible now. See what it be still there. You don't care now, boy.
Now, point I gotta bring up is insecurity projection. They project their own frustrations, jealousy, or insecurities onto others. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people do that and love to say they're keeping it 100 or being honest or whatever and being disrespectful. That's just you projecting, bro. And I've seen it. We all seen it in some way, shape, or form. You know, some people, they be wanting you to be like them. You know, that's just what it is. They saying it, they keeping it real and saying they trying to help you be a better version of you, but in reality, they don't want you to be a better version of you. They want you to be just like them. They want you to be a better version of them, put that just in a toxic way.
If you think, I'm gonna help some of you all that want to get people off your back with certain things. There's a few subjects that you could talk about that to get people off your back. One of the main subjects is this right here. If they saying all this crazy stuff, just say, hey, you asking me a question. Let me ask you a question. They're gonna say, what's that? If you was to die today, where would you go? There you go again with that right there. Well, you never answered it the last time. Let's see can you answer it now. I ain't got time to mess with you. See that walk off. Or you talk about the Bible. And I'd be like, where you going? You want to talk. We always want to talk about what you want to talk about. Let's talk about what I want to talk about now. And every time they come, you still talking about that? Yeah, I'm still talking because you ain't never answered. So let's talk about it. See, they'll start to leave you alone then. Every time I go around such and such, that's all they want to talk about. I'm like, if I die, where would I go when I die? Well, I'm just asking you a serious question. That's real. I'm talking about keeping it real. That's real. Where you gonna go?
I got 2 points I got to bring up. One of them is testing boundaries. Some use keeping it real to see how much they can get away with.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to cut that off at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me do this. Let me see how far this can go.
Yeah. As soon as you see it, no, I ain't got time for that, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, I see what you got going on. I see what you're trying to do. Now, another point is avoiding vulnerability. Harshness feels safer than showing compassion, which requires vulnerability. We love to use that. They saying, tough love and all this. Yeah, there is such thing as tough love. And it's the difference between tough love is being disrespectful. But a lot of people don't like to be vulnerable, which I get it. Everybody's going through something in their life.
Yeah. It
takes a lot of reflecting and healing that you got to do to be able to open up to certain people. I ain't saying open up to everybody. I ain't saying do that. Because there's some people out here that would use that against you and hold that over your head. So please do not take that out of context, thinking I'm saying, you just gotta be open to everybody. No. Now, the people that you trust that genuinely is not trying to hurt you, just want to see you be better and keep it real with you, but not disrespecting you, them the ones I'm talking about that you need to keep close to you. Man. Now, a question I got is, how do cultural, social, or personal insecurities shape the way people express truth?
Read it again. How
do cultural, social, or personal insecurities shape the way people express truth? There's a deep question to think about.
How does it shape?
Yeah, how does it shape the way people express truth? That's a good question. I even got myself thinking when I wrote it.
And how does it shape? A lot of times, sometimes the home setting can shape how you say certain things to people. If I hear my mama or my daddy or people that's in the household, if I hear them cussing all the time, cussing, my response to somebody, I'm be cussing somebody. Be saying some stuff, but That's a question right there, boy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, kid, I don't even know.
It's a deep question. I
No.
trust me. This is one of the questions. To be honest with you, don't even know. If I come up with an answer, I'll come back and bring it back up.
I can answer that cultural part because that's definitely in the household,
Right?
What you grew up around, but that other stuff,
yeah, that's a deep question. But I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, the cultural part, I agree with you on that. Being in the home and all that stuff. The other parts, it's a little difficult to get to that. And the only reason why I asked that question is because everybody thinks differently, and some people might have the answer. So that's why I asked the question.
yeah. So that's why I answered the first part. But the other part, culturally, a lot of times we react a certain way because the surroundings and in the home and who we was around and stuff like that. So culturally, we picked up a lot of stuff within the home and within the family. We picked up a lot of stuff. But the other part of that question,
yeah, I'll repeat it.
I might have to think about that. We might have to come back with that one.
Right. But I'm gonna repeat it. It says, how do cultural, social, or personal insecurities shape the way people express truth? Man, that's a deep question. To be honest with you, we might have to come back to that.
Now I have to go to AI. So gotta get it
right. I might mess around and post. I might do something with that.
AI. Give you answers.
I might post it on my other social medias and get people's thoughts on that, and try to invite some people on here. I think that might be a good idea to do. But
yeah, somebody can answer. I got my little 1 cent in from the beginning. That's it.
Mm-hmm. That's a deep question, though, boy. Now, why do some people feel more powerful about bringing others down instead of lifting them up?
Self-esteem, pride, their ego, be liked, want to be on top, think it's all about them. I got it going on.
Mm-hmm. You just said, that's a good idea. Yeah, I'm gonna make a video and post it. I'm just gonna need y'all help to kind of like push it so to reach a lot more people. I'm gonna post it on here too because that's a great question. Yeah, we might mess around and turn that into a full episode. Who knows? But yeah, as far as like why do you feel, powerful bringing others down, still lifting them up, I agree with everything you said. And kind of like piggyback off that too, because to them it's easy. It's easy to, in reality, it's easy to lift somebody up, which people understand that. But a lot of people feel like it's easy to disrespect somebody and tear them down and be negative all the time. First off, that drains energy. I mean, they both, take energy. Don't get me wrong. I ain't sitting here saying like, uplifting people doesn't take energy and time because it does. But yeah, for a lot of people, it's easy to do that and tear them down, be negative all the time. And, like you said, their ego or whatever they got going on with them, so they feel like they got to put that on you.
Yeah, and because they are insecure and do so to feel better about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, insecure is a beast.
Yep.
Like, along with ego and pride and jealousy.
Mm-hmm. That ego and pride, boy. You don't know how to get out your own way and swallow your pride. It get you in some trouble.
Yep.
So you gotta be careful out here. Now, a point I can bring up is masking negativity. It's often an excuse to justify disrespect, bitterness, or criticism without reflection. I'll repeat that again. Masking negativity. It's often an excuse to justify disrespect, bitterness, or criticism without reflection. Something to think about, ain't it? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that. It's easy for them to do it and not expect no consequences behind it. and they do it so often because they don't reflect on what they got going on. Mm-hmm. Key said pride is one of the 7 deadly sins. Yeah.
Yes.
We don't realize that. But man, this was a great episode, y'all.
Yeah, them last ones.
Yeah. Them last ones, man. Mm-hmm. Now, before I get ready to end, I just got to bring up that point too, which is lack of emotional intelligence. They may not know how to communicate truth without harming others, which is facts. There's a lot of people that don't know that, you know. And if you are aware of it and you see it, sometimes you can correct them and be like, you know, you ain't trying to belittle them or disrespect them. You just keep it real. And you just flat out say, you don't know how to communicate truth without harming, do you? Some people will listen. I ain't saying that work all the time, but some people will listen and be like, yeah, I really don't know how. And some people will just, you know, double down and being disrespectful. But yeah, man, this was a great episode. That question I asked her, that got us all. I know it did.
Yeah, it definitely got me.
It got all of us.
I'm pondering right now.
Yeah. I was pondering myself when I wrote it. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all for coming through. Y'all show up every time. We can't thank y'all enough. You know, we appreciate every single one of y'all taking time out y'all day to join us. You know, it means a lot. Most likely, we probably gonna turn that question I asked into a podcast episode. Maybe. We just gonna see how that goes. And if y'all would like to be a part of it, you know, not only being in the comments, but also being in the panel, if you would like to be a part of it, you know, we all finna go on this little search of trying to find the answer when it comes to that. So if you want to be a part of it, you know, shoot me or shoot him a text, and we'll put some stuff together when it comes to that.
A lot of people don't want to self-reflect. They have a lot of inside turmoil. Hopefully, they can get the help they need.
Mm-hmm. But on that note, what you got coming up, man?
Before I say what we got coming up, Cornelius Neal, Mr. Know It All, because he don't know it all, that be with us on open mic night. Sometimes he'll jump on this. He got a GoFundMe going on because he's raising money to feed the poor. He's raising money to feed the poor. So go check it out on his page. And I'm gonna share it to our pages, and so you can help out for a good cause. It ain't for him. He's giving back. Him and his girl are doing this.
By the way, shout out Cornelius because your birthday just passed.
Yeah, his birthday just passed.
So
happy birthday, man. I got this belt waiting on you and everything. I'm still old fashioned with some stuff. So whatever, how old you are, like they used to do, they'll beat you soft till they get to them last few. But anyway, so he got a GoFundMe going on. I'm named Cornelius Dunlap on Facebook. Go check him out. Support. He's feeding the homeless. We can't sit and wait for the government to do everything. We got to do some stuff because some stuff government just ain't gonna do. Period.
Mm-hmm. So we gotta take it upon
ourselves. We gotta take it upon ourselves. So what I got coming up, y'all know I will be back around 6 o'clock, 6:05, somewhere in there, and we're talking about fighting through the trauma of family. I got that from Kitty from last week. And I thought about it after she said it, and after we got off and stuff, I thought about it. And that's true. We fight through a lot of trauma within the family that the family had put on us, said, like you said earlier, said some stuff to us. So we're gonna talk about that. You know, I got my shirt on. Doesn't matter to you until it affects you. We got that merch going on. So if you like the shirt, DM me. Let us know it's not expensive. I'm just telling you, it's not expensive. So if you want support, and you know, the Cash App is up in the chat. So that's up there because sometimes Facebook is just fun. I just put it that way. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we have it going on, sometimes we won't have it on. But it's in the chat. So if you like to give and support, because we trying to buy some new stuff, some other stuff too, to help push and process and take it to another level on this. We're not the best, but we do our best. We stay within our limits. We're not trying to be like nobody else. We just staying within our limits. So we got that going on. Next week, though, we're just gonna do one next week.
Yeah. This one gonna be.
And the flyer be up. I might have to start promoting a little early.
Yeah.
Friday, I might put it up Wednesday and Friday. But this one right here, we're gonna have the topic is reality. When the cell doors close, you behind them cell doors. So we got two great people coming on. They're no strangers. They've been on here before. We're gonna have Travis Clark coming on. We're gonna have Pastor James Everett coming on. And they've been behind there. I try to get this other pastor, but he's working. So if he said if he break loose, he gonna jump on with us. So we're gonna talk about the real deal. It's on TV, but what they seen themselves. So we're gonna have that going. That'll be next week at 5:00 next Sunday.
Yeah.
Next Sunday.
I know y'all used to 4:30 because that'd be the time I come on.
Yeah.
We have to push the 5-day schedule. So
yeah,
y'all be sure to come back and tune in. You know, tell a friend, tell everybody. You know, but yeah, we can't thank y'all enough. And it's funny because y'all see how like every episode we do almost ties together in the same thing almost. And majority of the time, you know, when you be playing, we don't even be planning those. It just be happening. But we can't thank y'all enough. As far as like what I got coming up, y'all know me with the dance and stuff, funny videos I be doing. Working on a lot of stuff. I'm in the process of trying to figure this stuff out with not only streaming on YouTube and Facebook, but also getting it over to possibly Instagram and TikTok. Even though I know on those platforms have to be a little careful because certain things you just can't say or talk about on there, which that's dumb. Especially when you spread positivity. So we trying to figure that out. Merch, working on that, trying to come up with some better quality and all that. And yeah, it's a lot of stuff, you know, in the works of, you know, that we working on behind the scenes, but we can't thank y'all enough for real. Y'all show out every time. We thank y'all with every part of our heart and body, you know. Y'all take time out y'all day to be here with us and share y'all thoughts and opinions on this stuff. But we don't know everything. So we glad y'all are on this journey with us. And shoot, the sky's the limit. You know, anybody that's watching this, man, don't ever give up. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do anything, because you can, bro. You know, you don't need all the expensive equipment right then and there. The way we started off was off the phones and tablets. And you just slowly progress and upgrade. You know, it's going to be people, it might not be for everybody, but you got some people that will support you and love you. You know, any kids watching, whatever dream you got, adults too, whatever dream you got, go for it, bro. Full throttle, just go for it. Just go for it, man. But we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We thank y'all. Stay focused, stay positive, smile. Y'all know how I do. Be smooth with it. We out of here.